Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Goddess Day. So, today I have an amazing goddess here to introduce to you. I love her work. I've had the pleasure of experiencing one of the things that light her up, and I couldn't wait to bring her on and have her share this amazing work that she's doing with women, with people, to help them know themselves and understand how they operate. So I hope you are ready for this. So Chantel, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be able to share this with you and just to chat with you because I love your energy.
Likewise, likewise. So let's start out with this because I know you, but a lot of people on my channel, this might be the first time they're like, who's this? So let's start out with who you are, what you do, and what lights you up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Chantel. Hello. My business is Chantel Marie HD, which has been the focus of human design to bring women back home to themselves. So human design is our energetic blueprint. It is our purpose, our souls, and our life's purpose. It's like the gifts that we have. It's what we came here to do. And I really love showing women all the ways that they've always known who they were and what they were supposed to be doing. But it's like this permission slip to really just embody it and to be it. And that just lights me up to be able to help women, no matter who they are or where they're at, love themselves, accept themselves, stand in their own power, and really find everything that they need within them.
It's true, and it comes through when you're working with her. Like she gets lit up. It's so awesome, and it's
I'm
just
so excited.
it just is incredible. Also, what comes through. You're not just lit up because you love it, but it's how we're able to connect to the information coming through. I mean, I'm sure people have heard about human design, right? And they've probably maybe know whether they're manifesting generate, like the intro part of it.
Mm.
But I think the next step is like, okay, I have all this information. What do I do with it? What does that mean for me? And one of the things that really drew me to you, and how you use human design, was helping me to connect it to what I'm doing in my business, especially if your business is an extension of you and your soul work, right?
Mhm.
Like it was beautiful. And then, you're like, these are some power words that come with, who you are. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly who I am. But I never thought of it that way. It's like you're doing stuff, but when you get the picture, you're like, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense why I love doing that. It makes a lot
Mhm.
of sense why this is what I want to do. Even though, when it looks like the whole world is like, no, don't do it.
Mhm. Yes.
So I want to
And
hear from you. Like, how did you get into human design?
mm, I found human design through one of my coaches. She was like, "Hey, what's your human design?" And I was like, I don't. What is that?" Right? This was a few years ago, and so I found out about being a generator, and read a little bit about it, and was like, "Okay, yeah, that feels really good to me." And felt this like kind of inkling within me, and I started to kind of navigate it more in myself and realized that there was this really important piece of the work that I was already doing to decondition, right? Like I help women decondition from all the programming and the things that the world tells them that they can be, can't be, should be, right? And I saw that it was within human design that we could see exactly where the not good enough stuff was, the too much stuff was, but then also how to tap into our own unique intuition, right? Like that, I was like, oh shit. I already knew, right? I had already been tapped into my own intuition through, someone that I worked with in the spiritual world, but that form didn't work for all of my clients. And then I realized why within human design. Like the ones that it worked for were sacral beings, and the ones that didn't work for, they were different, right? And it was just this huge kind of aha of like, okay, I need this. This is exactly, what's going to help me get my clients even further, even faster. And the more I read about it, the more I learned, the more I just couldn't get enough. Like my sacral was like full on lit up. I was just like, I was just like eat, sleep, and breathe, all of it. I couldn't get enough.
I know what you mean. When you're lit up, it's like I go into, being, the 5-1, the investigative aspect of it, I was like, that's not me. And then I started noticing it. Like when I'm really interested in something, I go all in researching about it, like sharing what I got from it, especially with my, when I gave birth to my son, like researching about toddlers and infant and what to do, and like just coming up with this and sharing it with my husband. He's like, wow. I'm like, oh, this is how the investigator shows up. Even in my business, like human design, gene keys, I'm all in, like just diving in and really going deep with it. And now it's like, oh, I thought I wasn't really an investigator, but I guess I was lying to myself.
But it's the unconscious side, right? Where it's like we don't see that, but other people see it of us very easily. And then we get to bring it to consciousness and then further kind of, allow it to be a part of our lives, right? And like we talked about in your session, use it in your business or in your relationships in your life, and like tapping in because it is a gift, right? And sharing from those places, then people see us, right? And we can speak to them on a deeper soul level.
I think that's another aspect that I loved about your reading, understanding what the unconscious really meant, and also how it comes. I always thought unconscious means, the first part is like that I don't know that it's there, but when you said it's what people see, about you, and I was like, oh, it's not just about what I don't see. Because I'm too close to it, but people can see it and reflect that to me. And then once I bring that to awareness or bring that to the forefront, then it becomes conscious and I can really access that. And that was incredible for me. That was so incredible. Yeah.
Absolutely. I so agree with that. And that has been the experience of a lot of people for those unconscious pieces, because they're still a part of you, right? It's like we can learn how to use them to our advantage. And I know I say this in pretty much every reading. It's like, you're not missing anything. You're not supposed to be anything else. Like you have everything that you need. So let's really like focus on, okay, what's there? How am I already using it? And how can I really tap into it even more?
Yeah. Oh, I love it so much. So one of the key pillars in my business is know thyself. And so in my 12-month program, Goddess Unleashed, I bring in all the tools, because to know yourself, just knowing astrology, knowing your sun sign, moon sign is not enough. It gives you a little piece of it. And then you know your gene keys, and then you know your human design, and you begin to create this bigger picture of who you are. And I feel like gene keys and human design, just those two, like you just dive in. It's like so deep, and so it's like the wisdom is so ancient. Like once you dive in, you really truly get to know yourself on a level that you never thought was possible. And we are so blessed to have these systems available to us. Like I was telling my clients, I was like, we come to this earth plane, we go through that cosmic womb, and we forget. Like we step into, it's like before we drop down, like, yes, we got this. We know where we're coming down. And then we drop here and it's like, why am I here again? It's like, we forget. And these systems are here to help us to remember again, and so I love that. And the way you do it, like you've dove in for yourself, you understand it. And it shows when you're sharing it with your clients, when you're sharing it with us, like it's like, I can relate to it because I can feel it. Yeah. I know you get it, and you get it beyond just the logic. You're like, you get it on that human level. Like this is how you can apply it to your life.
Yeah. And that's part of my own design, right? Is like understanding how I learn and process and implement. And that's a part of, I'm a 6/2. So like the 6 is the role model. And I go through and use all of the tools that I have for myself first, integrate them and become this role model. But then I'm able to kind of transmute my own kind of intuition and my own magic through it. And I've heard so many people in pretty much every reading where someone has had a reading previous, they're like, that you've transmitted it in a way that I've never experienced before, right? It's like it felt really boxy to them or restrictive, and that's not what it's about, right? Like it's not meant to be restrictive. It's about setting you free.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about this ancient wisdom, because when you read pieces or when you hear pieces, there's this transmission, and it's almost like the DNA wakes up.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, I get goosebumps just thinking about it, because it's like a remembrance of, oh, that's what I came here to do. That is me. I am, right? This unapologetic, full light up of your DNA.
Exactly. It really is. It brings me back to King Solomon's temple in the olden days. I'm talking as if I was there. Maybe I was in past life, but back then it was only royalty, and most likely it was men who were allowed to learn about these ancient wisdom. Like you had to be chosen, you had to be a leader, a king, born in royalty to have access to learn about these wisdom. And I believe it's because they were afraid of the power. Like once you realize yourself, that is power. And they were afraid if it fell in the wrong hands, what that would do. And we're in the age, like I remember when I was in the mystery school, and, we decided that, for example, like DNA activation, it wasn't just for students in the mystery school. Now it was like, go out there and activate as many people as possible. We're like, yes, right. Like more of this wisdom is out because we're ready to learn about who we are. That's where the power lies. If you know who you are, nothing can take control of you. Nothing can try to take over, and I know you feel it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I spent, the first 30 years of my life thinking that I had no power, that I had no choice, I had no control. And so that I remember the moment of realizing how much power I had. And I knew instantly that the rest of my life would be dedicated to bringing that on into women, like really, truly showing all people need it. But for me, I'm really passionate about women.
Yeah.
And them seeing the power, right? Like we're not powerless. We are powerful.
Exactly. With the human design, I know when people start, it's about, okay, I'm a manifesting generator. I'm a generator. Like that's the beginning part. Mm-hmm. And then maybe you would dive in, like, what are these numbers? And you start diving into the numbers. And then you start diving, what is conscious and what is unconscious? What are all these numbers on the side, right? There's so much to it. And each aspect of it just like blows you open. I remember the 5 aspect of myself. I'm a 5/1 manifesting generator. And, when you talked about, it's about impacting the masses. It's not about, creating tight groups and just them. It's really about, impacting people that you don't know, and it's funny because, for example, when I started my podcast, like, it was like, I just need to get the message out to as many people as possible. That was like the whole, even my work is like, I just need to get it in front of as many people as possible. But I didn't understand why, because a part of me was still trying to create intimate containers, and it wasn't working as well. But when I start like doing videos or, like I get lit up. And when that came, I was like, oh,
yeah. We can stop fighting what, the coaching industry or online industry says that we need to do it this specific way. And then you're like, well, but it's not working. So there's something wrong with me. And then I need another coach because I just need to find someone else to, someone else's strategy. But it's like, that's not the thing. Like you have the thing, and I'm not gatekeeping anything. I'm just here to show you what's possible and allow you to tap into that resonance within you. And that's all that it was, right? You were like, oh yeah, I know this. It's like, we don't have to do it any other way. And so much of human design to me is that permission slip and that turning on of what we already know.
Yes, it is absolutely true. It's like living by design, not just business, but your life. We came here to live, to experience certain things that are very unique to us. And through that experience, we create what, we share that gift with others, right? But it's very unique to us. And these, human design is one of the ancient wisdoms that allows you to understand that, because you're working in this world. And I love that, that's part of what I love what you're doing, is understanding that, I'm a manifesting generator. I'm a, 5/1. Not everyone is like me. And so if I am working with my clients, they're not gonna do everything as I am, and understanding their design, I'm able to cater to them better. Or even having my friends, like if I understand their design, I'm able to really relate to them, so
Yeah.
we can apply this in like so many ways. And yeah.
Absolutely. We can use it in parenting, we can use it in business, we can use it in relationships, we can use it in literally any area, because of that exact thing. We can see the other for who they are, not who we think they should be, right? Not for what they are not, but truly as we each are uniquely. And then how can we connect, right? Because it's like we didn't come here to be everything. We came here to come together. And so that allows understanding and knowing on a deeper level. And I was just going to make a post about this morning with my daughter, and understanding her human design has allowed me to truly just see her for who she is, not who, like I think she should be. I'm not that I've ever really been that, but
Yeah.
that energy, right? And support her, and to watch her transform before my own eyes, simply from understanding her through human design, has been such a blessing and a gift. I can't, like, everyone should have that.
Absolutely. Both my husband and my son are generators. And that's as far as I've gotten. Like, I haven't even dove into the numbers yet with them. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense why they're always following each other around, doing the same thing. And I know manifesting generators they still have that generator component to it. So I'm like, we're all connected by that generator energy there. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, that sacral energy is, whether you're a generator or a manifesting generator, it's there. And you feel it, and there's a resonance between the three of you to understand each other in a way that's simply energetic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was one thing, this was like at the beginning when I was diving into human design, what I learned about my design that changed so much for me. And it was the response. It's like wait to respond. But the way I learned it, it was about say yes to the things that light you up. Oh, the cutie. You're fine. You're fine. It's like saying yes to the things that light you up and no to the things that nothing happens in your body. And that changed for me, because now when I'm making decisions, it's like, it's very clear, I'm lit up, my whole body gets giddy, and it's like, yeah, heck yeah, I'm doing it. And then when it's not, it's like, nope, nothing's there. Yeah, like nothing.
And that's the thing that is so important about being a sacral being, is like, we have the energy, but it's like for what lights you up. We're not meant to use it for the other things, but we've been conditioned to use it for the other things. So we're exhausted and we don't, right? Like, it's shut down and we have to turn it back on. And because, like, it's so friggin' sparkly and juicy and wonderful, right? Like, I know, I'm a generator, so like I know how that feels. It's amazing. And then it just draws it into you, and there's so much. What I love about the internet is that we can gain all of this knowledge and information, but also on the other hand, I find so many people are out there reading about their human designs and gaining the wrong information, right? They're like, oh, I don't like my design. This feels restrictive. I don't want to wait to respond, right? They think it's so bad, but that's not the thing, babe. Like, you're a magnet. You are magnetizing all the time, right? So when I see people who are like, yeah, human design doesn't really work for me, I feel nothing. I'm not really into it. No, it's not going to be for everyone, but it's like, is it because you're not understanding and it's not being transmuted properly, right?
Yes, I think that is the truth. if you go do your own design and you do your own research, like just reading about waiting to respond, I'm like, so do I just sit there and just, what am I waiting for? Like, what is this way to respond? But until I understood that it's about me like my body will light up and then I say yes. Like that's a different way of waiting to respond. And so I feel like with these ancient wisdom, if you can find a good teacher to work with, that is the key. There's so like all of these ancient wisdom. That's why people would go to the mystery school to go learn about it. There was no internet back there, or no like book that you can buy to read on your own. You had to go to a school to learn about it. So if you can find a good teacher to dedicate your time and energy to diving into your own mystery, because that is what the whole point is. That is why these wisdom are there. That is the key. So if you're like, I'm not really feeling this, in a way, for me, when I hear that, it's like, so are you telling me you're not feeling this aspect of yourself? You're not ready to uncover this? Because that's what's saying.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a progression, right?
Yes.
It's really difficult to dive in to all of the gates, right? Yes. Without first understanding your authority, your energy type, and your strategy. And everyone's like, blah, blah, whatever. I don't want that. I want all this other things. No, like it's not going to register, right? You have to turn on the other things first. You have to turn your sacral back on. You have to, right, understand specific things first. Yes. And truly, through doing those things, the rest just starts to fall into line anyways. And then as you dig deeper, you will understand. There will be recognition. Even now, 3 years in, I read stuff again and I'm like, oh, I get it now, right? Like it's just this ever evolving process. It's just never over, right? They call it an experiment for a reason, because it's just going to continually turn DNA on, turn this knowing and have clicks and alignment over and over and over. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like if you're trying to learn something right now and it's not clicking, take a step back, breathe. It might not be the time yet. And it is true. This is why I love DNA activations. Once you get that codon activated, everything that comes with that codon will come online as well. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, how come I never saw it? How come I never understood it this way? It was always here. How come I didn't see it? Because you weren't activated to it. It wasn't in your consciousness yet. It was dormant. There's so much that has been dormant within us. And this is not even like, it goes beyond coming down the cosmic womb and forgetting. We just forgot. But social programming, family beliefs, and all that crap turned off certain codons within our being. Now, our little children, they're good. Like they came in. We had to go through that so that they wouldn't have to. Exactly. But for us, like we have to turn it on. This is why the aspect of DNA activation came online for the public, because you need to remember by turning on your codons.
Yeah, absolutely. And in human design, they say that like human design is for the children, but in order for it to impact them, we have to do the work, right? It's like we have to move through the deconditioning process so that they can be who they came here to be, right? Like, so they don't have to undo all the shit we had to undo.
Yes. We get to do that.
Yeah. And it does. And it's like, oftentimes I see even parents going like, how do I help my kids? They're struggling with this. You do you first. Like you come back home and center yourself, and you will in turn do that for your children. Like it's through healing your own DNA, your own ancestral patterns, your own things, you heal them.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. By you investing your time and energy in knowing yourself, unlocking your mystery, you do the same for them. And it's not just, it's like 7 generations before and after. That's how much the impact is the easiest and the most powerful way that we can make sure that our children have a better future. This is why it's so important to really come back to self, like get to know you, love you, heal you. That is the magic there, because everyone around you, that ripple is just going to send it out, and everyone would get to experience that and also awaken. It is magnetic, powerful. And so
Absolutely.
what I want to ask you a question. What is, if someone is like, well, I've heard about human design, I don't really know. What is one thing that you would like to share, a message that can like light them up to, to dive into, or at least be curious about it, or, and that's not, be called to this mystery of themselves. Yeah.
I think that the important pieces to me are understanding that the places where you feel like you are not enough, you didn't come here to be those things, right? It's not missing. The places where you feel too much are actually your gifts, and it's what the other maybe doesn't have consistent access to, but that's what you came here to be, right? It's there. All the pieces that you know of yourself are there for a reason. Like, you came here to be you. You have everything that you need. And so to me, authority is like first and foremost important. Like, find a way to understand and integrate your authority, because that is your own intuition, your body intelligence, your inner knowing, and then work from there.
Real quick, for people who don't know what authority is, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, authority is like your decision making, right? So we talk about outer authority is like government and police and parents and church and all of the outer, we are supposed to listen to all these people, right? Inner authority is like your inner voice. It's your inner kind of intuition, but it's your decision making thing, right? It's what's here to navigate you for what's best for you. It's not about the other. It's like that inner voice, that inner knowing is always going to steer you in the right direction for you, for your purpose, for your highest good, always. It's not necessarily going to make people happy, but it's always going to be in your best interest.
Truth. Oh man, it's not for them.
No, it's not for them. Right. It's like we didn't come here to do that.
Yeah. No. Exactly. I love that. That's so important. The things that you feel what word did you use? That you feel less in, or you used a good word. It's not for you. Not enough.
Right. So it's like if you have an open sacral, like, you didn't come here to be this energy being who's doing all the physical work. Like, that's not your jam. The world tells us that we need to work hard and, everything will come through if you just work hard, but that's not true, right? We have to decondition from all these beliefs and stories that we've been told. You didn't come here to be this physical builder worker. You came here to guide the rest of us workers, right? We need you because you have a different perspective, right? We all have this purpose and this part to play in changing the world.
Oh, I love it. I love it. See, I learned something new just right now. It's just so amazing, so what are some ways that people can work with you?
I do individual sessions for either business, personal, relationship, parent, but then also we can do like groupings. And then I always do an 8-week and 16-week program where it integrates human design, breath work, self-love, all of the juicy things, deconditioning, mindset, energy stuff. Those are the options that I offer. It's always great to start with a reading, like a personal reading or a business reading. If you have a business and you're really wanting to navigate structuring your business by your own design, by you, because like you said at the beginning, our businesses now are so much us. Yes. So that can be really powerful, though. One of those two are so powerful.
Yes, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to go do that reading. Just run. Just go click that button. Just go, and go run. It was so informational what I got from that reading, in terms of, it gave me so much clarity about my business, which is an extension of me, and why I do what I do and why I'm drawn to certain things more than others. And it just helps solidify, like, this is who I am. This is how I'm expressing my gifts in the world. It was so powerful. So thank you for that. I
Yeah.
still, like, I need to watch that video, that replay so many times, because each time, like, whoa.
I even still go back to like trainings and rewatch the videos. And like this right here is my literal human design notebook that I just like write things in because they come in differently. It's just so amazing. It's never done.
And with the business reading, so you get a replay, and you also, she gives you like a write up. Would you call it a write up of it?
Yeah, you have a PDF of your energy type, your authority, your strategy, your centers, how to use them in business, whether they're open or defined, how to use your profile, how to use your energy type, like structuring your offers. Who is your ideal client? Like truly what's going to work for you? Like you said, you were trying to do these small, intimate containers, but they weren't working. And I was trying to do these big, big containers, but that's not what I came here to do. And so it wasn't working, right? It's like,
It really is like giving you the freedom to step away from what everyone is telling you to do and start to pay attention to what exactly you are here to do.
And it's easy to get wrapped up in this. Like I had this idea of, I want to make this really massive impact. And so the only way to do that is to have these big containers. But that's not the only way, right? It's like I get to impact one person at a time or small intimate groups. And then it's that ripple effect. Like it doesn't have to be these big, massive groups at one time. It's going to ripple out. They're going to carry it, right? It's like, I don't have to worry about that. Because how many times have you heard like, one to many, scale to one to many, like that's the way, right? Everyone wants to tell you, here's the way, like, ugh, all that noise in your head.
It's a lot of noise out there, and no wonder people are confused. There's just so much out there, and it's about coming back to self. It's always about coming back to self, understanding you, because what works for you most likely doesn't work for so and so. It might work for some people, because this world is huge, but you have your own. And when you understand your design and you operate from that place.
Yeah. Because the other stuff that might work, but it's not sustainable.
Yes.
When you operate as yourself, that's sustainable forever.
Yes.
Right?
True.
And know that whatever it is that you desire is already for you.
Yes.
Like what you truly desire, not what the noise from the outside. It's like what really feels good to you when nothing else matters, when you take away everyone else's opinions, all the stories, what's left, that's what's for you.
Yeah. I wanted to share this, and then I will ask you how people can schedule with you and contact you. So one of my biggest vision, I've had this vision for God knows how long. I always see myself on stage, and it's like this stadium, and it has like thousands of people, and I walk on stage and I begin to like have them chant, and I'm raising the frequency, and it's like people are like shaking, and it looks like there's like these light just coming down and dropping on them and like changing people. And this is like, I've always seen this, and even talking about it, I'm like, yes, like I crave it. And now I understand that's from the 5 aspects of my design, impacting the masses. I have the capacity to do that. And no wonder I crave to do that. And it's so powerful, because now I know exactly why I love doing that. Like I tried doing one-on-ones, and I would be so drained. I always felt like I could do more. That every time I got off a call from a one-on-one, I'm like, I can do so much more. My energy felt like I could do more. Like I wish I could have more people. I didn't understand that. And now I do.
Right?
It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so the opposite. I'm like 1-to-1, maybe like 3 to 5, anything more. I'm drained. I'm so exhausted afterwards. I'm a generator, but this is a thing, right? It's like where I said it's not meant to box you in, because not every manifesting generator is the same. Not every generator is the same. It speaks to your aura, but I have a lot of openness in my chart. So I'm taking in a lot of people's energy. So big, massive groups is like, that's a lot for me.
That's
I'm
a
tapped
lot.
out. Like, oh my gosh, the thought of it is like exhausting.
You take a nap for a week.
Yeah. Oh my
I love that
gosh.
you said that. Looking at the open centers, what centers do you have open? What centers are, is it activated or is it the channels that are activated? See,
Yeah.
there's so much to this.
Anything that's colored in is yours. Even if it's in an open center, it's yours. You just don't have consistent access to it. Any centers that are defined as your consistent energy, that's who you are. That's what the world feels of you. And any centers that are open is where you're taking in the energy from others and amplifying, right? So if there's a lot of openness, it's like empathic energy. You're feeling the other intensely. So that can be really exhausting if you don't understand what's happening, right? You don't know why you feel this way and you're trying to force yourself. And then there's burnout and self-worth and like, oh gosh, this spiral that happens, right? So we know innately what we need, but again, it's just that permission slip. It's that turning on of the understanding of the DNA to go, oh, okay. Now let's just hyper focus. Like,
Yes.
here we go. Clear out all the noise of what the world is saying, and we get to just do this.
Oh, man. So do you guys even see just a little bit that we're talking? There's so much to this. I could talk to this woman for God knows how long, and I don't think we'll even hit the middle of the
Right?
wisdom.
No, I'm like, I just, again, okay, like this is all human design right here. Like, it's not even, it's one of my human design study books. Like, there's just so much, and I freaking love it. I could just talk for hours and hours and hours about it.
So how can people schedule with you to work with you?
I will give you the link.
Yes.
My business readings are on special promo until Monday next week, what's the date of that? The 13th. They're on for $77 US. And yeah, super, it's such a great price. Like, I would just wanted to do as many as possible and just get it out there because it's really exciting me. It's lighting me up to be able to do that. But yeah, I will give you the link to be able to book.
Beautiful.
Otherwise, everything else all the other readings are in there with descriptions. If you have any questions, you don't know what's good for you, just send me a message. It's totally good.
Yeah. Beautiful. Guys, run. I'm going to put the link in there after this, and then click on that button, schedule to have a reading. It can be for your business. It can be for you. Start with those two. And just, if you have a question, just send her a message. Where should I start? She will guide you. Like, she's incredible at what she does. And she knows this. She's embodied this wisdom. And she helps you to also embody. It's not just about learning something new and then put it on the side. You're able to apply it to your life, to your business, to create the life and business that you've always dreamt of, and understand it in a way that you never thought was possible. So this is a great opportunity for you. Go work with this goddess. Okay. You know, if I bring people on here, they're gold. So
I know. I'm so excited to be here. I love always watching your soul chat. So I'm honored to be able to be here and share this with your people, your community. Yeah, it's a gift. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, if you would like me to introduce you to her, just send me a message. I will create a introduction chat, and then you guys can take it away. Okay. Don't be shy. This is a great opportunity for you to dive into your own mystery. We are in that time. There's no more excuses. Stop it. Things will no longer work if you're trying to move or create outside of yourself. I'm telling you this. And you will notice it will get harder and harder until you have no choice but to tune in and do the work. And this, human design is such a freaking powerful way to do this work and get to the center of you, the truth of you, the wisdom of you, and begin to express from your own unique design. The world needs more of this. So stop dilly-dallying, stop making excuses. And because we want to see you shine. We want to see that beautiful, gemstone that is only unique to you. That's what the world needs. Oh, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Chantel, for joining me for this yummy, 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 this delicious chat. And
Thank
everyone, thank you again for joining us. And until next time, from our hearts to yours. Bye, everyone.